Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Kwings Let's Plays channel, and you wanted to know what we thought about a certain someone being revealed in Super Smash Bros. Today. Maybe because I'm a huge fan of this character, as is Amber, but the character in question, who you probably could tell by the title of this video, is of course Simon Belmont. We rocking the vampire killer right now, and we've got Death, of course, going up against Luigi, which this has to be some type of story mode.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
But the character designs are pretty similar to the old school Castlevania, which for a while now hasn't been canon. Like, they went with the horrible Lords of Shadow stuff, so seeing Simon come back true to form, rocking his barbarian look from Super Castlevania is just the icing on the already delicious cake. And of course, the Castle Dracula in the background as a stage. Pretty awesome. So, this is actually not Simon Belmont's first time in a Smash Brothers-like game. Both he and Snake from Metal Gear appeared in a title called Dream Mix World Fighters for the GameCube that coincidentally was made by Konami. So Simon's moveset is actually from that game.
Oh my god.
I know, it's pretty awesome.
I did not know that.
Also, of course, Dracula is both an assist character and a boss.
What?
Yeah, he's a boss character. He's not like a playable character, he's just like a boss. And then, of course,
I can't believe he's an assist.
Another of the Belmont lineage, Richter Belmont from Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, appears,
gosh.
And he's another popular Castlevania character.
They're both gonna be in Smash Brothers?
Yeah,
oh my
he's
gosh.
an Echo fighter, so basically think of it like a clone fighter, but
a skin.
It's a skin, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Wow, this is so cool, and
the legendary vampire hunter is here.
He's got his awesome whip and everything. Oh my gosh, he looks really cool.
That is the Super Nintendo vampire killer whip. So Simon joins the battle, rocking his barbarian look. And again, his moveset is borrowed from Dream Mix World Fighters on the GameCube, which is a very expensive Japanese-only Smash clone. The whip, just like in that game, has the longest reach out of all the weapons in Smash Bros., which is pretty awesome. And I like that they actually brought back the Super Nintendo, like, whip control, where you hold in the whip and you can move it wherever you want. Sheik was actually using that pre-Simon's inclusion. It's one of her abilities where they borrowed that from Castlevania, because that was just like a fun little guard ability that Simon had. You have the uppercut from Ryu.
Oh, said he is the holy water, like, bomb there.
He had the holy water and the cross in that Dream Mix Fighters thing, which actually I wanted to get. This was his super move, but that fighting game from the GameCube is super expensive, and I was never able to do it. So Dracula's Castle is the newest level, and this is going to have lots of different Castlevania characters from throughout the franchise that Iga worked on. And I don't believe any of the Lords of Shadow characters are going to appear. So this is a classic Castlevania canon with all the different monsters like the Mummy and
Medusa.
the Creature, Flea Man.
Oh my
We've got Death rocking his Portrait of Ruin. There's Carmilla. We got Lycans, werewolves. Maybe even Cornell will show up.
What?
We got Kid Dracula right there.
This is what? In what? That's his stage, or?
Yeah, this is his stage, Simon's stage. And there's going to be over 34 music tracks from the Castlevania games that are going to appear in this. Which apparently Sakurai and his team are really big fans of.
Oh my god.
What's interesting about Simon's inclusion is for years they've been trying to get Simon Belmont in Smash Brothers. Ever since Super Smash Bros. Melee, which of course they brought in Solid Snake.
Well, so I'm really excited about this because, I mean, they kept his actual moves in the game, the holy water and everything, like the true to form, like the original Simon Belmont. And yeah, like I remember, you know, my favorite game musics of all time were, you know, Castlevania and Mega Man. Like, that was the two, like, ultimate, like, best game music that I've ever heard. And, like, that's just, like, something I grew up with, like, Simon Belmont on the NES. Yeah.
So Alucard is rocking his Symphony of the Night look, and I know people might get on me. I can't remember if Metal Gear Snake was in Melee or not. There's been so many Smash Brothers games now. I think this is the 6th one. So it's kind of hard to keep track of it all. But Alucard is an assist character, and he has his own moveset, which it would be cool if he was playable. But Richter is, like Amber said, he's a skin character of Simon, or they call him Echo Fighters. But he has completely different mannerisms and, taunts and all kinds of stuff. And pretty much Sakurai's reasoning for this is the Belmont lineage, they all kind of play the same in all their games. So who's to say who's really the clone? It's like a fighting style passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, definitely.
And it kind of works. Richter is a very popular character, but Simon has appeared in the most games and even appeared in the, quote, failed reboot, Lords of Shadow.
Oh, right,
where he was in that one 3DS game that wasn't very good. And, of course, you have Chrom in the game now.
Yay, Chrom!
Hooray, Chrom.
Yay. Yeah, I'm sure Krista, Yang, and I are excited about that.
Actually, she said something on her Twitter that her husband was now in the game.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
People are even saying, what is Amber going to think about Chrom being in the game? Well, he's a Marth clone.
I have to say that he is a Marth clone. I'm excited about him being in the game, but for Luke's sake, I probably won't play with him as much.
And then moving away from the Castlevania characters for a little bit, we have Dark Samus from the Metroid Prime series, who is an Echo Fighter for, of course, Samus.
Yeah,
and Dark Samus in some of the previous Smash Bros. Games had kind of like a color scheme where you could play as the character, but this is the first time that the evil doppelganger has appeared correctly. You can see all the different accents and detail of the character and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Dark Samus, but
Metroid
it looks
Prime.
really cool.
It's a she.
She looks very cool.
It's like basically Dark Link,
Dark Link, Dark Samus, yeah. Okay, I didn't know.
So Chrom and Dark Samus join the battle. We don't know if there's going to be more characters that they're going to reveal or not, but it's still... The fighting roster in this game is well over 60 fighters now. It's insane.
Even with Chrom, Chrom, that was like kind of a fun thing, like when I was doing that one game, but I'm way thousands of times more excited about Simon Belmont. Like, it's a franchise that, like, my brothers grew up with, and I grew up with hearing the Castlevania music. And it was the first time that I, like, heard video game music, and I thought, this is really cool. I actually like this. But no, I could never play any of the games. They were too hard.
There's a lot of games, though, and most of the Castlevania series has appeared on the Nintendo. But they did have other games on, like, Sony and Sega Genesis and stuff like that. But prominently, Nintendo has been the home of course, Zero now.
Yay, Zero!
So we're on the assist trophies. We're going to cut Castlevania. Zero is not a playable character. He is an assist, but he's still pretty awesome. Capcom's wicked excited about his inclusion, and Sega was, of course, talking about Knuckles being an assist. No word on Shadow or Tails.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I have to say, like, Simon...
Crystal.
Oh, yes, Crystal.
From Star
she looks
Fox.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, Simon Belmont is like Luke was telling me, is a character that's been teased, like, upcoming into...
He's been in many polls for Smash Brothers, too.
Smash Brothers for years. Like, I think he's such a long time coming. Like, I was surprised they put Kid Icarus in before Simon Belmont and all the Fire Emblem characters because, yeah, Simon Belmont should have been in the franchise a long time ago, but yeah.
Gray Fox is back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, definitely. Especially because, they kind of changed.
This is what upset me.
Oh.
Shovel Knight is an assist. He's not a playable character.
He's not a playable character. Oh, that would have been so cool. Well, I mean, like, I feel like Lord of Shadows, they tried to bring the original idea of Castlevania back, because Castlevania kind of ruined it. Like, I feel like it wasn't the same anymore.
Also, Bomberman is an assist as well in this.
It just feels really good and I feel like Simon Belmont coming in is kind of like Snake coming in. People were super excited about it, and
when Snake originally appeared in Smash Brothers, like, he was in that Dream Mix Fighters game along with Simon. His moveset is pretty much the same as Dream Mix Fighters, as is Simon's. But Simon was, of course, rocking his Chronicles look, which I didn't like that. He had the red hair, and he kind of looked like a heavy metal band person, so it's nice to see him go back to the traditional posters. Of course, Monster Hunter is now represented in Smash Brothers. We got Rathalos there, tearing it up.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, and I mean, Simon's been in like so many games though, like more than 5, 8, yeah.
Not counting the new ones.
I was trying to count how many games he's been in it. And he was in Captain N.
Yep.
That just shows how popular he is, sitting there with Captain N, Mega Man, and, like the other members of Captain N.
This was the biggest troll. You had King DDD making fun of King K. Rool, and who shows up but King K. Rool?
Oh my god.
He was the final character that was announced today. And
wow,
a lot of people had a mixed bag about him. I mean, they were kind of like...
Be pretty cool to play as. Like, he must be kind of like Bowser.
He plays completely
really
different than Bowser. You can see his moveset here. He uses projectiles, grappling abilities.
I'm so down with King K. Rool. I think he's a really fun... this is the first time of me seeing him. He's really fun and a really large, like, big character. So, yeah.
He's pretty awesome. This is his final smash here. You can see he attacks the Donkey Kong Island, like, SDF1 style or something like that.
Well, yeah,
so it's great that Donkey Kong actually has his villain in his game.
He can play... Yeah, because you can still play as Donkey Kong, yeah.
Donkey Kong and Diddy, yep.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Donkey Kong stages. That's really cool, because usually, like, they put a character in, but there's, like, only one song, like, of that character, so I'm really excited about all the Castlevania music.
There's so much music in this game. There's over, I believe, 800 tracks.
That's probably...
28 hours of music.
Yeah, that's one of the, like, franchises that made me really want to be a music composer someday. I'm not yet, but, maybe someday I will, but...
Never know.
Yeah, that really got me excited about gaming music.
But, so that pretty much does it for our, reactions and thoughts about this. You guys got to see the live stream, but it was pretty awesome to have Castlevania finally represented in Smash Bros.
And also true to form, like, with his, just like all the original stuff, his weapons and everything he's got on his belt there, like the whip and the holy water and the cross and everything, just like exactly how a traditional vampire hunter would be,
Yep.
So
anyway, guys and gals, in the comment section below, tell us if you could pick any fighter to be in Smash Brothers, who would it be and why? Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we got a ton of great videos for you tomorrow. God bless and happy gaming.
See ya!